There is a spray bottle riding around in the bed of my pickup truck right now, and the liquid inside it cost me right about $1. It did not come from the hunting aisle. It came off a grocery store shelf. The first fall I sprayed it on an old oak stump behind our deer camp. 3 different bucks found that stump the very first night. By the end of 6 nights, my trail camera had 9 different bucks on it. 9 bucks, 1 camera, 1 stump I could hit with a rock from my ladder stand. Now, the old timers at our camp were soaking stumps with this same liquid back when I was a girl. And it pulled deer then just like it pulls them now. But it works so well that today, in a long list of counties, some of them not far from my own kitchen table here in Wisconsin, using it will cost you a fine. So stay with me all the way to the end, friend, because the real reason it got banned is not what you think. It has nothing to do with whether it works. It comes down to one specific thing deer do at that stump, nose to nose, and once you hear it, every baiting rule in your state will finally make sense. If we have not met yet, I am Donna Larsen. I am 52 years old, I live in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and my dad Ray had me in a deer stand before I was 8. I shot my first buck at 11 with his lever action 30-30, and 44 seasons later, I run the same deer camp I grew up in. Most of what I am about to show you came from men who are gone now, and this stump trick was one of their favorites. Let me guess where you are this fall, because I have stood in your boots. You have one good buck on your trail camera, and he strolls past your stand at 2 in the morning like he pays rent on the place. Your evening sits are all squirrels and chickadees. So you drive into town, and you stand in front of that wall of deer attractants at the sporting goods store. Apple this, acorn that, little 4-ounce bottles of amber liquid with camouflage labels and a monster buck printed on the front. $12 to $15 a piece. I have watched good hunters walk out of that store $50 lighter every October, and Dad always said the deer don't care what you spent. That whole wall is built on one true, simple fact about a whitetail's nose. A fact the old-timers were using for free before a single one of those companies existed. There was never any money in telling you the grocery store version, and there is plenty of money in the camo bottle, so the grocery store version quietly disappeared from the conversation. Today you get all of it. The exact liquid, the exact way to soak a stump with it, where to set that stump when it works best, and the straight truth about the law county by county. And I have not forgotten my promise about the ban either. That answer is waiting at the end, and it is bigger than this one trick. Now, before I hand you the jug, you ought to know where this trick lives. It is one of 101 tricks I wrote down in a book called Donna's Whitetail Bible, 101 field-tested tricks to stop going home empty-handed, written plain for hunters who already do the basics right and still end up eating tag soup. It covers turning those 2 in the morning camera bucks into daylight shots, waking up stands that went dead, and a whole shelf of cheap field substitutes for expensive gear. Just like this one. No gear ads, no $400 gadgets, just woodsmanship from 44 seasons. It is $17 right now, marked down from $47, and that is less than 1 tank of gas to the deer lease. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you're watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right. Grab a pen because the recipe takes about 10 seconds. Here is the liquid. It is apple cider vinegar. Plain, cheap, grocery store apple cider vinegar. Not the fancy raw kind with the cloudy sediment floating in it, though that works too. I buy the store brand jug, 32 ounces for about $3, and one good stump soaking uses about a cup. That is your $1 friend with change back. Pour a cup into a clean spray bottle and you are done mixing. Folks call it a homemade brew, and the whole recipe is that there is no recipe, which is exactly why nobody ever bottled it up and sold it to you. So why does a whitetail care about salad vinegar? Because that jug is fermented apples. Nothing more, the very same smell as dropped apples going soft in the grass under a wild apple tree in late October. Every deer in the county learned in its first autumn that the smell means easy calories before winter. That is the first pull food. The second pull is plain curiosity. A whitetail lives through its nose the way you and I live through our eyes, and a strong new smell inside a buck's home range works like a strange truck parked in your driveway. He is going to come have a look. Maybe not in daylight on the first night, but he is coming. And on a damp, still October evening, that sour apple smell drifts a long, long way through the hardwood timber. Some of the boys at camp stir a spoonful of molasses into their bottle to sweeten the deal. Mine stays straight vinegar, and when we get to the law in a little while, you will hear one more reason I keep it that simple. Now here is where most folks go wrong with it. Do not spray this on bare dirt. The ground drinks a smell down and buries it inside a day. Do not spray it on a living tree either. Live bark is built to shed rain, and it sheds your vinegar right along with it. What you want is an old, dry, dead stump, and the more weathered and punky, the better. Dead wood works like a sponge. It pulls that vinegar deep into the grain, then breathes the smell back out slowly for days, a little stronger every morning when the dew wakes it up. One good soaking can keep working for most of a week. An oak stump about knee-high is just about perfect because knee-high on you is nose-high on a walking deer. The chore itself is small. Give the flat top of the stump 10 to 15 good pumps. Give the side facing the deer trail another 10. That is about a cup of vinegar, 25 pumps or so in all. Freshen it every 3 or 4 days. Freshen it again after any hard rain. Soak it, face the trail side, keep it fresh every 3 or 4 days, and that is the whole job, about 2 minutes a week. But a soaked stump in the wrong spot is nothing but seasoned firewood with dressing on it. Where that stump sits and where you sit decides whether you ever lay eyes on those bucks in daylight. Pick your spot before you ever pull that sprayer trigger. You are looking for a stump sitting between a bedding thicket and the evening food, the standing corn, the cut beans, or an oak flat. You want it just inside the cover, not out in the open. A mature buck will stand inside that last screen of brush waiting on dark, and the stump gives him a reason to stop and stand still while there is still shooting light. Then measure your distance. The stump should sit 20 to 40 yards from a tree that can hold your stand. 20 to 40 yards, a close, comfortable, clean shot, whether you carry a bow or an old 30-30 like mine. Hang that stand downwind of the stump. Their nose should find the vinegar and never once find you. Check the wind before every single sit, and if the wind is wrong, stay home and let the stump work by itself. Before you hunt it at all, strap a trail camera over that stump and give it 1 full week, and let the camera tell you who is coming and what time they punch the clock. Summer is the perfect season to go find this spot, so take your time and get it right. There is no rush yet. The first fall I ran this trick, an 8-pointer stood at my stump working it over for 10 straight minutes while I settled myself and picked my shot. 10 still minutes broadside at 26 yards. Ask any bow hunter what that is worth. That buck filled my freezer, and the vinegar that brought him cost less than the coffee in my thermos. And every deer my camera caught did the same odd thing at that stump. The nose-to-nose thing I promised to explain. Hold on to that, because we are getting close. Let us talk timing next, because this trick has a season. It shines from the early bow opener through that quiet October lull that breaks hearts, right up until the chasing starts. It is a food and curiosity trick. So once bucks are running does in early November, their minds are elsewhere. The does keep visiting though, and in November, where the does go, the bucks follow, so the stump never goes completely cold. Evenings beat mornings here. The air cools and settles low at sunset, deer drift toward the food, and that apple smell carries into the cover right when they are standing up off their beds. Do your spraying on midday trips when the woods are empty, quick in and quick out. And do not hunt the stump every evening. Hunt it when the wind is perfect and rest it the rest of the week. The stump keeps working while you sit at home drinking coffee. Your scent is the only thing in those woods that can ruin it. Before you drive to the store for a jug, there is one thing to check first. And I mean before you mix a single drop. Every state draws its own line between a scent and a bait, and that line moves around. In a good many states, the moment a deer can lick a thing or swallow it, that thing is bait. And a vinegar-soaked stump is absolutely something a deer will lick. Here in Wisconsin, the baiting and feeding bans run county by county, and the list changes year to year. The same stump can be perfectly legal in one county and a citation in the county right next door. So my rule is simple, and it is not negotiable at my camp. Read your own state's regulations, the current years, for the exact county you hunt, every single summer, before the sprayer leaves the shed. If your county is on the banned list, the bottle stays on the shelf that season. No grumbling. And that spoonful of molasses the boys like? The closer your bottle gets to being food, the fewer places it is welcome, which is the other reason mine stays plain vinegar. Nobody pays me to tell you any of this, by the way. I buy my own vinegar the same way I buy my own broadheads. And if the law says no where you hunt, do not pout, because the woods hand out the legal version for free. Find a wild apple tree dropping fruit and hunt that. Find a fresh logging cut with the treetops still on the ground, because deer flock in to browse those tops. Find the licking branch hanging over an active scrape, and let the deer's own signpost do the work. No warden in America will write you up for hunting what the woods built on their own. Which brings me back to the promise I made you at the top. If this old trick works so well, why on earth did anybody ban it in the first place? The answer showed up on my own trail camera, and it is that nose-to-nose thing. This stump does not just attract deer. It gathers them, all of them, onto the same square foot of wood. A doe and her twin fawns work it over at sunset. A young 6-pointer licks the very same spot an hour after dark. The old 9-pointer noses the exact same grain of wood at midnight. Night after night, mouth after mouth, saliva laid on top of saliva. For 100 years that was harmless, and the old-timers thought nothing of it. Then chronic wasting disease came into the deer woods. CWD is a slow disease of the deer family. It is always fatal, there is no cure and no vaccine, and it passes from deer to deer through saliva and close contact. The biologist cannot treat a wild herd, so the only tool anybody has is slowing the spread. And the fastest way whitetails spread it is by putting their mouths and their noses on the same spot, over and over again. A corn pile does exactly that, and a sweet-smelling stump does it too. So when the disease turns up in a county, the state bans baiting and feeding in that county, and usually in the neighbors. The ban never said the old trick failed. The ban says the trick works. It gathers deer better than almost anything on that $50 wall. And in a sick herd, the gathering itself is the danger. Dad's trick did not change, friend. The woods changed around it, and a hunter worth the name changes with the woods because this herd has to outlive every one of us. That is why the regulation map gets read at my kitchen table every summer before that sprayer ever leaves the shed. And that right there is the kind of thing Dad and the old-timers handed me for free. The trick and the why together. I put 101 of them into Donna's Whitetail Bible, so they do not die with the men who taught me. $17 instead of $47, less than the gas you will burn getting to camp, and it will outlast every camo bottle on that wall. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you used to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So there it is. $1 of apple cider vinegar, 1 dry dead stump, a stand hung downwind at 20 to 40 yards, and the current year's rules read before a single spray. Now tell me something. What's the one piece of gear you regret buying? Put it below, friend. We've all got one. I read every single one. Next time I am going to show you how Dad picked the 1 week of the rut worth burning vacation days on, and the overnight temperature drop he watched for to call it almost to the day. Keep your wind right and your coffee hot, and I'll see you in the woods.